Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to see about triggers and events in MySQL. This is something which is very interesting functions or features available with the SQL. And a trigger is a block of code which gets executed if some events is happening on other table. Like let's say we do have these two tables, which is having employee demographic data and employee salary. Let's say someone adds a record here as a new employee with their salary and other information. We need to get the records updated in this employee demographics as well, because sometimes it is getting missed. Like suppose if you see these two number records, which is for Rajesh, this two number record is not available in this employee demographic. Someone has missed it, but it should not happen like this, and every data should be captured. So suppose someone is adding another row here as a new data or new employee, then its respective first name, employee ID, and last name should get added in this employee demographics table as well. And this things happens automatically with the help of triggers. So how we can create trigger? To create a trigger, we need to specify like these two words, trigger, create trigger, and then we need to give some name as employee insert. What we are going to do is we are going to create a trigger which says, like suppose someone is inserting a new row in this employee salary table, then that record should get updated here. For this, what we need to do, we need to write in an insert statement. For this, let's write after insert on. This is the one statement you need to write it here, and which table we need to execute the trigger, which is nothing but a employee salary. This is after insert on employee salary. So there are like before keyword is also there, but that is for some other purpose, like before deleting any record from that particular table. So after insert on employee salary, what we need to do for each row, for each row means, suppose in this employee salary table, if someone inserts one row, then that should be getting added in the demographics. If suppose someone insert four row, then for each row, we should perform the insert operation in employee demographics. So for that, we need to write begin and end here. And here we are going to write insert into, then employee demographics. And what are the fields which we wanted to insert, which is employee ID, first name, and last name. What are the values we wanted to insert? This is something which is we need to specify. Like in SQL, we have this whatever the value. Let's say just one row is getting added as 13 employee ID, then that only should be inserted in employee demographics tables, not the all the records. So for that, there is a new keyword. Whatever the new added rows, that it will consider. So we just need to specify the columns, new employee ID, then to specify new first name, then new dot last name. This is something which is we need to specify. And to make this code working, we need to write the delimiter, and then we specify, and again a delimiter, we need to specify the semicolon here. We take the semicolon. So this way, what will happen? Let me explain you. After insert on employee salary, whatever the row, for each row, begin insert into employee demographics. So whatever the values which is getting added, that should be inserted into this employee demographics. So this is the operations this trigger is going to perform. So let's try to execute this. Let's see, means it should be executed. You can say this is successful. Now, when we create this trigger, we should able to see somewhere here, but it is not having any separate, like a separate section as store procedures or views, but you will be able to find it here in this trigger section under the employee salary. So for employee salary, this is the triggers. And if right click, you can just refresh. We cannot delete alter the trigger from here. This way we have got created. Now what we are going to do is we are going to test this. So let's try to do a testing of this. How to do? So what we are going to do, we are going to add some values in this employee salary. So like let's say insert into employee salary, and what are the columns? Let's say employee ID, first name, comma, last name, and then we do have occupation and DPT, department ID. This is something which is and the values specify here as, let's say I'm just adding a one random record, like let's say 13 number employee ID. First name is Raj, second last name is Kapoor, and then let's say Ian occupation, and I think one more column is here, which is salary. So 20,000 is the salary, and the FPT ID is the 5, which is the library. This you can see uh, supply departments. Here you do have this library as a fifth department ID. So I am just specifying that fifth employee ID, department ID here. And now what I do is this. Now we should see some execution happen. Let's see whether it is really inserted or not. To check the employee salary, this. Now you can say 13 number record has been added as Raj Kapoor, which is the librarian, and having a department ID of 520,000 salary. This is added in the employee salary. That's what we have performed. We perform the insert statement on this employee salary. Now we wanted to see whether in the employee demographics, whether it is really inserted or not. So go to here, and now you can say first name, employee ID, first name, last name, 3 records has been inserted. The other records can be updated by the HR department, but this is just to let the people or the team to know that there is a new record has been added in employee salary, and that should be get updated in this uh, employee demographics table as well. So this is how the trigger works, which will perform the operations once any event happens on that particular table. Now the next thing which is we are going to see is event. Event is somewhat different. It is not like trigger, but it is a schedule activity. Suppose there are some records and which needs to be updated quarterly or maybe monthly or maybe yearly, half yearly, based on the organization requirement. That time we can perform some schedule event which will update the records automatically. Now the requirement is we do have this employee demographics data, and suppose there is a requirement from the HR department which says whoever is having age of more than 60, they should be retired, or their record should be deleted from this particular table. So how to do this? So regularly this will be a checked every 6 months or 1 year. So for this we can create an event in SQL, and for that we can write create event, and let's say this name you can give any retirees. And here we need to specify on schedule every, we can specify 1 month or 6 months or 1 minute as well, or let's say 30 seconds. For our testing purpose, I'm just specifying for every say 30 seconds, the event will check this particular table, and if they find any record for that, do and then we need to specify begin and end Here we are going to check. We select star from sorry, demographics where uh, age is greater than equal to 6. Now, when we execute this particular statement, it should give that particular record which is of more than 60 age. So what we wanted to delete this record. We will not select, but we will delete from employee demographics where age is greater than 60. That is what we need to specify. Means what we are going to do is on schedule of every 30 seconds, we will check that particular table, and if there is a record which is having more than 60, then we should be able to delete that record. So that's why we have this delete statement here. And now what we are going to do is we are specify this delimiter here, delimiter, and then we specify again a delimiter here, semicolon. This is something which is we are trying to create an event. Let's try to execute this. We should be able to get this. Now we will try to see as this event has been created, we need to test this, and so for that we are going to check in this select demographics, and we are going to execute this. So we should not be able to see that file number record here, which is 61, which is not no longer available in this particular table. That means our event is working correctly, and we should be able to create such events based on our requirement. Now I have just for testing purpose I have used 30 seconds, but it can be 6 months or 1 year. Uh, we can specify. So this is the way we can basically create the events and triggers as well. If you wanted to drop or delete the trigger, we can delete the trigger with like insert, drop trigger, employee insert. This is successful, and you will not able to find that trigger now here. If we just refresh it, you will not able to find it. Similarly, we can drop the event as well, which is created and execute. So this way we can delete or drop the existing events on triggers. That's it from this video. I hope you have followed me and you have understood the concepts. Please try to do the practice on these topics. It will be very beneficial for your SQL skills. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. If you like my videos, then like it. And that's the end of my SQL advanced series as well.